That belly fat is not normal. It's a red flag for a deeper imbalance. This equation of calories in, calories out does not work anymore. So unless we do this one thing in the morning, our cortisol is going to continue to rise, we're going to feel anxious, and whatever we do eat is going to be stored as fat and not used for energy. We've been misled to think we need to do these intense exercise periods to lose weight and lose the belly fat. Over-exercising is one of the main reasons why you have belly fat. The number one reason why you're having visceral fat, belly fat, is Hi everyone, Jennifer here. So if you have belly fat, go grab a pen and paper because I'm going to share with you a completely different approach to losing this stubborn weight around your middle. I want all of you beautiful women to know that belly fat is not normal. It's a red flag for a deeper imbalance. It is a common symptom. Over 95% of women who come into my program, they come in with wanting to lose belly fat. But this is not a normal condition. We've been conditioned to think this is normal, along with hot flashes, sleep issues, digestive issues, hair loss, skin issues. What I want to tell all of you beautiful women is that belly fat is a red flag for a deeper imbalance that we need to address in order for you to move through this time of life symptom-free. All right, before we get into this, I want you to picture this excess weight that you're carrying around, whether it's around your middle, your arms, your legs, your thighs, anywhere you have this excess fat. I want you to picture this as a coat, a heavy, ugly coat that you don't even like anymore. Now, you have to take this coat wherever you go. You have to wear it in the shower, you have to wear it to sleep, you have to wear it while you're driving, while you're exercising, while you're walking around. This coat is so annoying. It's not even you. And what I'm going to share with you will help you to ditch this coat, not temporarily, permanently. Because once you understand the real reason why you have belly fat, you'll be able to ditch this coat and move through this time of life feeling light and energized. And be sure to stick around to the end of the video if you have sugar cravings or salty cravings. I'm going to share with you a completely different perspective of why you have these cravings and what to do about them. All right, let's get into it. The number one reason why you're having visceral fat, belly fat, is digestive toxins. Let me explain. So when you're thinking digestive toxins, what does that even mean? So in Ayurveda, your digestion, the strength of your digestion is everything. It has everything to do with your weight, with your mood, with your energy levels, with your skin, with your hair, everything. Gut-brain connection is a real thing. Now, where do these digestive toxins come from? How can we reduce them? And why are they even there? So when you eat, unless you have a strong digestive system, you're going to create digestive toxins. Now, these toxins can start to accumulate in the digestive tract, then they can start migrating outside of the digestive tract and start aggravating other parts of your body. And one of the main places where these digestive toxins accumulate and aggravate is in your abdominal region, in your belly region, all the area around your organs, your kidney, your liver, your stomach. That area can accumulate a certain type of fat, and it's called visceral fat. This is an active fat. It's a dangerous fat. It causes inflammation. It can cause insulin resistance. It can cause us to feel very tired. Belly fat, yes, no one likes the look of belly fat, but that is secondary. It is a very dangerous fat to have around, and we have been told to accept this during perimenopause and menopause. This is not right. We cannot accept belly fat because that is a red flag that something is out of balance. And the first thing it points to from an Ayurvedic perspective is your digestion is not strong anymore. I had one woman come through the program. She didn't come in to lose weight. She came in for balance, for sleep. She came in for digestive issues. She just thought that, she had some belly fat. She just thought that was normal. She was told that having belly fat was normal when you're going through menopause. She improved her digestion, she slept better, her mood improved, she found joy again, but she was shocked at how flat her belly was. I was talking with her and she said her husband said, "Whoa, okay, that's enough weight you've lost. You look amazing. You look like you did in high school." They'd been together for that long, and she just thought that was so sweet. So as we age, our digestion can get weaker, but that does not mean we have to accept a weak digestion. There are practices and tips that you can do to strengthen your digestion, and I'm going to share with you two main tips that I share with every woman that comes through my program. These are the two main things that I suggest to women to help them lower their inflammation, to improve their digestion, and to get rid of this belly fat. This equation of calories in, calories out does not work anymore. It does not work during perimenopause and menopause. So how do we improve our digestion? Number one, it's called simple soup days. So this is where you want to grab a pen and paper. So I do my simple soup day 1 day a week. It's one of the best practices you can do to reduce your digestive toxins. So think of your digestive system as a car. If you just drove your car 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all the time, it would start to break down. It would get weaker. You'd have to take it in to get fixed. Our digestive system needs a break, but maybe not in the way that you've been led to believe. From an Ayurvedic perspective, we don't want to do any fasting, especially during perimenopause and menopause. It increases cortisol levels, and it can put a lot of stress on your body. When you fast, you put out your digestive fire. It's called Agni in Ayurveda. Your digestive fire is the key to vibrant health. So when you fast, it weakens your digestive fire because there's no food going in. This can be a vicious cycle to get in because you may feel better when you're not eating because you have no bloating, no gas, you don't feel tired after you eat. And so your mind thinks, I just need to fast more often. And then you fast, then you go back to eating again, you feel the bloating and the discomfort, you probably put on some weight, and you're like, I just need to fast again. Over time, this cyclical nature of fasting or extreme dieting can make your digestion very weak. And then when you do go to eat again, it's really hard to digest food. Your digestive enzymes aren't ready and they're not up for the task of digesting normal sized meals. We need to strengthen our digestion by giving it a break, a little break. And these simple soup days are key. So you choose 1 day a week. I typically do Tuesdays. It doesn't always end up on Tuesday. Sometimes it's a Wednesday or a Thursday. You choose 1 day a week, and for that entire day, you drink warm blended soup. Why soup? Because it's warm. Your digestive system loves warm food. Your fire needs warm food. When we drink a bunch of ice water and cold smoothies and cold food, it puts out your digestive fire, and your digestion has to work even harder to digest food, making you feel tired, bloated, and gassy after you eat. So once you've picked out a day to do this simple soup days, it doesn't take very much work. In the morning, you're going to make 1 pot of soup. Now you're probably wondering, what kind of soup? What kind of soup should I eat? I'm going to keep this so simple. Whatever soup is your favorite soup to make, just blend it. Make sure there's nothing to chew. So this is where our digestive system gets a break. We're not chewing food all day long. Our stomach's not having to process all that food. It's warm, easy to digest. How much soup can you eat? As much as you want, but there are a few guidelines. We don't want to overdo it. We don't want to feel full and heavy and tired throughout the day. We want to feel light, like we're giving our digestive system a break. So you're going to have soup for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as much soup as you want, until you're around 75 to 80% full. For everyone, that's a different amount of soup. But you can also have soup if you're too hungry to make it between breakfast and lunch, or lunch and dinner. You can have another cup or a bowl of soup. The goal is to not feel hungry and starving. The goal is to give your digestive system a much needed break. Now, the best part about these simple soup days is how you feel the next day. Because you gave your system a break for an entire day, the next day you're going to feel so much clearer, so much more energized. You probably had an even better sleep because your body wasn't fighting the digestive process. It was really easy to digest foods that you gave your body all day long the day before. You're going to have more energy, and you're going to look forward to doing the soup day the following week. So I hope you love these simple soup days as much as I do. You can do it 1 day a week. You can do it 2 days a week if you want. If you have a lot of excess weight to lose, doing it 2 days a week is totally fine. But for simplicity's sake, 1 day a week is great. The second tip that I'm going to share with you is a game changer. This is probably the very first thing I have all women do when they come into my program. I want you to stop drinking cold water and I want you to start drinking hot water and warm water. There's a difference. I'm going to tell you when you should drink hot water and secondly, when you should drink warm water. So this is called a hot water routine. And in Ayurveda, it's the best way to reduce ama. What is ama? Ama is the Ayurvedic term for digestive toxins. So how it works is you've already got an understanding now from the simple soup days that your body loves warm foods, warm drinks, warm liquids. It keeps the fire going so you can have a strong digestive system. Now the hot water is interesting. When I first heard this, when my practitioner said, okay, start drinking hot water. Hot water? Plain hot water? Who wants to drink plain hot water? Can I add lemon or something? And she's like, no. I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to be interesting. So when we drink the hot water, this is how it works. In the morning, you're going to boil 2 liters of water and put them in a thermos. Now fill up 2 thermoses of hot boiling water. You're not gonna have to drink it boiling hot, but this is how it works. Now, once you have your thermoses filled, this is why we do it in the morning. You do not have to think about water for the rest of the day. You have your water. You can take your thermoses with you. You can take them to work. You never have to think, okay, I need to boil the water because I'm supposed to drink warm water. Fill up your 2 thermoses of hot water. Now, once you've got those, between your meals, I want you to start taking what's called hot sips. So you take your thermos, you pour off half a cup of boiling water, or it'll be hot. It doesn't have to be boiling, but it needs to be hot water. When it's cool enough to drink, you still want it pretty hot, you take a few hot sips. How do these hot sips actually benefit and get rid of belly fat? We learned one of the main reasons for belly fat is digestive toxins. Hot water is one of the best ways to get rid of these digestive toxins, to get rid of the ama in your body. But it doesn't work in a flushing out effect. It doesn't work like you're just drinking all this water to flush out the toxins. It works differently. It works on your tongue. Let me explain. This is the key. When you take a sip of hot water, it signals your body to burn up old ama, to burn up old digestive toxins. Now, when you sip this through between your meals, it helps to digest the food that is in your digestive tract. So it's a 2-way approach. Not only will it burn up old toxins, it signals it, the hot water in your tongue, to basically tell your body, go find the old ama in your body and burn it up to get rid of it. When you drink this between meals, it keeps your digestive fire strong and ready to digest the next meal. So you take a few hot sips, and then once it's cooled off, you drink the rest of your cup as warm water. How much water should you be drinking? Well, everyone's different depending on your activity level and also depending on where you live. It could be very, very hot. You're going to need more water. And if you are someone who lives somewhere where it's very hot and the thought of drinking hot water is just, oh, I don't think I can do that, you can adjust it obviously to where you live. But the ideal is to get those first hot sips in and then let it cool. You never want to drink cold water, but let it cool enough that feels a good temperature for you. But the warmer, the better for your digestive system. So drinking 2 liters of water is the average amount of water that you're going to drink throughout the day. It doesn't have to be exactly that, but that's a good place to start. A rule of thumb is to drink half a cup of water every 30 minutes or 1 cup of water every hour. What we don't want to do is go hours without drinking water and then we just slug back all this water to try and catch up. That puts a lot of strain on your digestive system and especially your kidneys. We want to sip water throughout the day, but there is one rule of when you should drink water and when you shouldn't. There's a period around where you eat where you don't want to have any liquids. You don't want to drink any water. So you want to stop drinking water 30 minutes before your meal. Don't drink any water with your meal. It puts out your digestive fire. It also dilutes your digestive enzymes. And then you want to wait at least an hour, preferably an hour and a half after your meal before you start drinking water again. I know this is different than probably what you're doing right now. This was very difficult for me, but what a difference. I could feel my digestive system actually working and not just being diluted with all this water. So it may take some time to get used to. If you have to take any, because I get asked this all the time, what about supplements or medication? It's fine to take a few sips right before or right after your meal, but keep it as minimal as possible. So when you have AMA, remember AMA is digestive toxins in your body. When you have AMA, it blocks the pathways for energy. So you want to eat more to get more energy. Your body's not craving more food, it's craving energy. And it's sending the signal, go eat more so we can get more energy. If we clear out the toxins out of your body, this AMA, you're not going to crave as much food. You're not going to want to overeat. You're not going to want to eat as often because the energy is flowing in your body. Now, I know this is a very different approach. The psychological effect, the emotional impact of having AMA in your body is you feel stuck in life. You feel like you can't move forward. You're just too tired, too heavy feeling, just stuck in life. So the benefit of clearing out these digestive toxins is, yes, you'll have more energy. But the other thing is you'll have more energy to pursue what you want to pursue in life. We are all here for a reason. We have a life purpose. We want to do things in life. And AMA it's like this heavy coat on you. You got to drag it around everywhere and you're just too tired to make any changes or do anything better for yourself. All right, let's get into the second reason why you're having that visceral fat, that accumulated active fat and belly fat during perimenopause and menopause. Yes, we've all heard this, the term cortisol belly. What does that mean? Well, it's very simple. Cortisol increases in your body, so does belly fat. And when we go through our hormonal changes, when we move through this time of life, the cortisol naturally increases in our body. Yes, this is annoying that this happens, but we can work with this to make sure that the cortisol doesn't rise too much and how to keep it low so that the fat does not accumulate around your belly. So cortisol is interesting. We need cortisol. The main time we need it is in the morning. And if that sounds confusing, I'm going to explain why we need cortisol in the morning. When you have high cortisol in your body, it triggers 4 responses in your body. Number 1, your metabolism slows down. You know exactly what this feels like. You can almost gain weight just by looking at food. Number 2, your sleep is affected. You wake up multiple times during the night. You can feel wide awake when you wake up and you think it's morning, but it's still the middle of the night. And it's difficult to go back to sleep. Number 3, you have cravings, intense cravings. And remember, stick around. I'm going to share with you what those cravings mean, the sweet and the salty, and what you can do about them. And number 4, your insulin resistance goes up. That means your blood sugar is too high, and that sends a cascade of events that happen in your body. And weight gain, visceral fat, belly fat is number 1. So unless we do this one thing in the morning, our cortisol is going to continue to rise. We're going to feel anxious, and whatever we do eat is going to be stored as fat and not used for energy. So most of you probably know that when you wake up in the morning, your cortisol levels are high. Maybe you didn't know that, but you can just feel it. When you wake up, you can feel quite anxious during perimenopause and menopause and postmenopause. There is a reason why cortisol increases in the morning. It's for energy. We need a bit of a spike, a bit of a kickstart to get going on our day. Because in Ayurveda, the time of day between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. is a very special period. This is where we can feel really groggy, really tired, especially if we slept longer into this period, like we keep hitting that snooze button. We're going against nature. Nature wants us to get up in the morning and get moving. That's why it increases the cortisol for you to get this motivation. So one of the best things that you can do to lower your cortisol, not only in the morning, but throughout the day, is to move your body. It doesn't have to be CrossFit, weightlifting type running, like intense running. No, any movement will help expend, will help use that cortisol for the right reasons. It's to help you feel awake and alive. If we don't exercise though in the morning, if we don't move our body and we just go from waking up to sitting eating breakfast, to sitting in the car, to sitting at our desk, that cortisol has no choice but to make us feel anxious, to increase our inflammation, to make us more insulin resistant. Our blood sugars will rise. It has this cascading effect throughout the day when our cortisol does not have an outlet in the morning. So there's a few simple ways to do this. Number one, you can go for a morning walk. That is probably the best thing you can do. So every morning I go for a short walk, sometimes longer if I have more time, at least 10 minutes though, just to get my body moving, to get the lymphatic system moving, to help lower that cortisol, to help me feel awake. It sets the tone for your entire day. Now, I also love yoga. I'll do yoga in the morning. It doesn't have to be this crazy routine, just some nice stretches to let your body know that you're awake, and this will give you energy. Light exercise in the morning will give you energy throughout the day. We've been misled to think we need to do these intense exercise periods to lose weight and lose the belly fat. From an Ayurvedic perspective, over-exercising is one of the main reasons why you have belly fat. I have so many women come into my program that are doing a lot of exercise and they've got bellies and they don't understand why. And they do not like it when I say to them, you need to lower the intensity of your exercise. And they're like, but I can't, I'll put on weight. I'm like, keep an open mind. The reason why you have that belly fat is because your exercise routine is increasing your cortisol levels. It's raising the inflammation in your body. And now it's being stored around your middle. All right, let's get into tip number 3 of why you're having the belly fat. Now, this is frustrating. What you're going to hear is going to be frustrating for a lot of you because you're going to say, I know this already, I'm trying. Third tip is you need deeper, more restorative sleeps. And I'll explain why this is. And if you're someone who's not sleeping, trust me, that was me. I didn't sleep for a number of years. Maybe I got 4 hours of sleep a night. Definitely not enough to help me sustain my energy and to move throughout my day, getting things done that I needed to get done. I was anxious, I was exhausted, I had brain fog. All of these symptoms contributed to me moving along the path where everything just kept getting worse and worse and worse, which made my sleep worse. It's like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? It's really hard to tell. But sleep, what is the purpose of sleep? Obviously, it's to rest, but it's to restore your body. It's to clean up the digestive messes. It's to calm your nervous system. It's to flush out the toxins in your brain. There's so many reasons why we need deep restorative sleep. And if we are not getting it, if we're not getting this deep restorative sleep every night, it's okay to have a night or two here and there where you're not getting a good sleep. Study after study is showing that women who have difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep have belly fat. It is very difficult for them to lose stubborn hormonal weight. Deep sleep is necessary. And in my program, this is one of my biggest joys, is helping women sleep. Most women, 95% of women that come to me are not getting the deep quality sleep that they need to be a healthy weight, to have good mood, to have energy levels, to have all these things that we want in order so that we can experience life in a joyful way, in a healthy and balanced way. Now, I have so much information to help women sleep, so many routines and tips and tricks that will get them sleeping deeply through the night. But I would say the number one suggestion is to eat a light and early dinner. So let me explain why this is. Just like that period between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. is the time to move your body, there's a time of night between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. It's the opposite, where this is a time where we do not want to eat heavy food. Why is this? So at this time of night, between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m., this is when we're slowing down, or when we should be slowing down. Maybe you're a night owl. That's another whole imbalance in itself. But your body, your metabolism drops significantly after 6 p.m. Doesn't matter where you live in the world, it's based on light and dark cycles. So does that mean you shouldn't eat anything between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m.? Ideally, yes, but I know that people's work schedules, you can't always have dinner ready and eaten and dishes done before 6 p.m. That's not very practical. But the goal is to eat closer to that time than closer to 10 p.m. Whatever you do eat during this 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. time is going to be harder to digest. That means it's going to turn more into fat than energy. And so the lighter we can eat during this time of night, the better. And the other key to this is making sure you go for a short walk or a longer walk if you want. I love going for a walk after dinner. So I know that for a lot of you, just hearing eat a light and early dinner is like, but I can't. My partner doesn't get home till later. My kids don't want to eat at that time of day. You do the best you can. This is not about being perfect. This is just about knowing what is working best for your body and eating a lighter dinner, an earlier dinner, as early as you can make it will be better for your digestion, which means when you do sleep, it'll be deeper, more restorative sleep so that you can clean up all the mess while you're sleeping so you can start the day feeling refreshed, less groggy, and awake. All right, beautiful ones, as promised, I'm going to share with you what sweet cravings mean and what salty cravings mean and what you can do to start lowering these cravings, because I know those cravings. I remember after every meal I needed something sweet. It just didn't feel like a meal unless I had something sweet. And I've probably eaten, when in my unbalanced years, I've probably eaten more buttered, salty popcorn than any of you out there combined. It was a daily thing. Salted butter, salted popcorn. I just needed this. I don't eat all that anymore. It doesn't mean that I will never eat it. It just means that I don't need it. I don't crave these really sweet, salty things anymore. So sweet cravings are a craving for more energy. Sugar can give you energy, so it has to do with fatigue. So the obvious thing is you need more rest. You need to say no more often. You need to lower the commitments on your to-do list. You need to have less things on your to-do list. You need more energy. So the sweet craving is a cry for more energy, because sugar and sweets give you energy, a temporary boost in energy. It doesn't last, it depletes you over the long run. Now, while you're trying not to eat as many sweet foods, having licorice tea throughout the day will, I know it's not going to take the place of chocolate or donuts or cake, but from an Ayurvedic perspective, licorice tea is very sweet and it signals your body that this sweetness has been satisfied. So have 1 to 2 cups of licorice tea throughout the day and see if that helps. Also, the sweet craving has to do with just being completely overwhelmed emotionally with stress. Sweets make us feel nice, they make us feel grounded, they make us feel happy. There's a dopamine effect, but that's not a long-term solution for low energy and dealing with stress. Now, if you're having salty cravings, I love this one. It's really interesting because from an Ayurvedic perspective, salty cravings mean you need more zest in your life. Salt is very zesty. So your life has probably become, remember, this is the emotional aspect of a salty craving. Your life has become just kind of dull, too routine, no variety. So one of the main ways to lower your salt cravings from an emotional perspective is to eat more variety of foods and have more variety in life. Do things that you wouldn't normally do. Get excited about something. It can just be simple things like taking a different route to work or going on a different walk or maybe going on a vacation. Whatever it is, it can just be the smallest thing. Shake up your routine a bit and make sure you're adding enough salt to your cooking. In Ayurveda, we tend not to put salt on your meal after it's cooked. You cook with the salt. And salt is one of the 6 tastes that we need in Ayurveda so that we can avoid craving these sugary, fatty, greasy, salty foods. All right, beautiful ones, make sure to subscribe, hit like, and leave a comment below with what topic you would love for me to cover next. Your feedback helps shapes the future of this channel. If you're curious how to move down this symptom-free path, you can head to my bio. There's lots of information to get started. And I want to remind you that this time of life was never supposed to be this challenging. This is a natural process we go through. And I want all of you to know that you can move through this time of life feeling comfortable in your own skin, at ease, calm, with a clear mind for the most part, but mainly you have a sense of joy back in your life. All right, have a beautiful, amazing day. Much love.